My very first Vespa, the P200E. This is a 200cc model from 1980, still running like a champ 45 years later, just terrorizing the streets of Southern California. Stay tuned for a complete in-depth review of this glorious little scooter. Let's do it. Zdravo y dobrodošli, bon dia, bem-vindos, servus, willkommen, buenos dias, bienvenidos, greetings riders, buonasera y bienvenuti to another Pegasus Motorcycle Tours and Consulting review, this time of my Piaggio Vespa P200E, the famous P model of scooters created from 1977 all the way to 2008. Isn't that amazing? That really successful run. Almost like a Goldwing or something. It's incredible. Amazing history of Piaggio, amazing history of this particular motorcycle. It's only got 6,000 miles, 6,346 miles, but it runs like a champ, and I'm just having a lot of fun with it. It's just, it's actually kind of surprising how fun this thing is. It's considered a classic, yet modern beast that's the most fun pushing around your neighborhood because it's stalled, that you could have on two wheels. So much harder. With the 4-speed grip shift system, which is just really cool, very unique, and a air-cooled 200cc 198, something to that effect. 2-stroke motor, just a fun little thing, you know. The P line of motorcycles in Piaggio's group was actually produced since 1977 in 3 versions, in 125X, P150X, and P200E. The E stands for electronic engine stop and run button. You do get a key. In some markets, it only had 2 positions. This one has 3. And you do get a kickstart, of course, and you kickstart the thing, and direct drive pushes 12 horsepower to the rear wheel, which is interchangeable. The 3 wheels in general are interchangeable, which is kind of the intelligence behind the design. So the story goes like this. The company itself started, Enrico Piaggio actually started this company long time before they started producing scooters. In 1946, they wanted to create something that's more usable, that's more easy for the Italian villager to be able to conduct his daily chores. And this was it. It allowed a huge range with this 2-gallon gas tank that's under the seat. You get like 70 miles a gallon, something to that effect. The wheels are interchangeable, so that you get a third actually under this left side fairing as well. In the earlier models, it was right here, so you can keep it on the road. And they saw quite a few significant victories. For example, in the Paris-Dakar as well, 2 finished that race, and there was another Italian that took one to the Arctic Circle, I think, and another one through Latin America in those years. So, they're capable motorcycles, and they prove themselves very useful and very dependable, very easy to work on. And again, in production, this particular model's from 77 to 2008. Albeit in the United States, import stopped in 1984, I believe, was the last opportunity to get your hands on one. The rubber I put away. I'm gonna do that a little better. And the only thing you have to worry about is this blinker or brake light. Kind of clever system, but it won't be professional or even amateur, but it'll look certainly better than this. I'm using Rust-Oleum. That's the color. Matches pretty better actually. And I'm gonna try with this little trigger because it's just easier. It's called handgun. Let's try it. This version, the P line, is actually considered quite the departure for the company. It's physically bigger. Everything's bigger about it. Everything is a little more sharper, angular. The seat is a mono seat instead of the individual 2 seats that the former scooters were known for. The end kind of ends in a squared away way instead of the sleek lines of the previous scooters. So if you're talking to a die-hard Vespa enthusiast, they don't consider these to be quite vintage, let's say. But of course, I mean, the age speaks for itself.
I fucking know my shit.
I thought the 250E was the most common one, because mine was Illinois.
P200 is top, and then you can put race kits on it. Like this one's got a racing kit.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a 150, but I put a big bore, 177 ported, you know.
But this is older.
63.
60, you could tell it's smaller.
63.
Yeah. And in the US market, they were a little bit different as well. The neutral light, for example, was added to the US market. There was a differences with the headlight on some. They came without the ability to replace the bulb. That was the law back in the day. And everything about it was bigger. This little glove box compartment was bigger. The horn casting was plastic and hides some of the wiring, etc. The paint on this is not original. The white, the cream is. This isn't. The red is not. I like that, of course, and the British flag in the glove box is not either, but it's kind of neat. You get some of these accessory options like the rear luggage rack, and there's actually a little zipper pocket here for the backrest as well. But they have a million other options that you can buy, including the sidecar. And of course, what could be more fun than cruising the sidecar in Southern California, which, as most of you know, I actually have a business of sidecar tours in Southern California. When you come to this area, check it out, Pegasus Sidecar Tours. I'll show you the best way to see the place, arguably, is in a sidecar. So can you imagine just adding a sidecar to this thing, 12 horsepower, and what that feels like? So it's kind of neat. The 125 produced something like 7.8 horsepower. The 150 produced 8.9 horsepower. And this guy, the 200, which is actually 198 cc's, produces around 12 horsepower. It's really cool. But the 4-speed grip shift transmission and the direct drive actually makes those 12 horsepower kind of usable. Top speed is around 68 miles an hour. Never even think of coming close to that. I mean, these tiny little wheels just absorb and transfer to the rider every single little thing. I mean, it's more for like the coast cruising, but you can use this as a everyday commuter, but you definitely are putting yourself at a little bit of a disadvantage with such small wheels. Again, they are interchangeable, so that's kind of nice, and you have your array of selection of different tires and whatnot. Now, we all grew up with these on the coast of the Adriatic. In former Yugoslavia, I mean, my friend's dad had one of these, and he would regularly take a trip to the capital to do some business. You know, it's a 100-kilometer trip one way, so it's not a small thing. And he could do it, do his thing, come back and not be exhausted. So I've had a lot of respect for these, you know. And we grew up with the 500, the 500, the Fiat. That was my mother's car when I was a kid. I mean, tiny little thing. I think the engine caught fire, and we had to put it out with my favorite beach towel. So I ended up really hating that car because it took my favorite beach towel as a kid. After that, we had and that was orange. We had a yellow Fiat, the next model, we called it Peglica, right? Because it was made by Zastava. Fiat still produces a lot of vehicles in the former Yugoslavia, so that remained. But we do have a love for these, and of course, you know, the images of Amalfi Coast and cruising down the Italian Riviera would be just amazing. I remember my time touring in the Amalfi Coast, and just I was unfortunately being chased by storms, so I didn't get to enjoy it as much as the second season of the White Lotus shows. But it is beautiful area to tour, and this would be it.
Michigan. Yeah.
Bella Ventura, eh?
Bella Ventura.
In the US market as well, you get really functional blinkers, and their contact for the rear is actually made by this little lever that holds the two sides intact. On this side right here, you get the tire side, the spare tire, and on this side you actually get a battery. So it's a 12-volt system throughout the bike, which makes it that much usable. You do get a lock for the steering column, and you can tell that angle just is quite impressive of how far that bike can turn. So it's really easy to maneuver all around. I mean, it's super light. I think it's around 235 pounds or something to that effect. So under the seat, you get a button here in the rear. You pick up the seat. You got a 2-gallon tank. You mix it with regular gas. The oil itself is a 2-stroke oil, and I prefer the Motul. This is the Scooter Expert premix oil, and the system in the United States models will mix, I believe it's 1/50, something to that effect ratio. And you get a little sight glass here to tell you that you have enough oil in the system, and it'll mix it automatically. So it's kind of interesting. In the former models, you would have actually, it came with a little scoop, and you would have to scoop that much amount of oil to mix with the gas. And then here's the airbox as well. The airbox goes straight through there, and that's pretty much it for the seat. You get a little grip strip right there. The choke, this model came with a, obviously, because it does have a carburetor, it came with a petcock, which has since been removed. But honestly, it's really easy to clean and to maintain. Carb itself, so far has been okay. I don't really use this very often, but I do start it and, you know, try to at least take it to the grocery store. The carb sits there, and the original Ducati ignition module sits right there. Just make sure if you're having ignition problems that the ground wire has perfect contact. You might need to scrub that out. You do get quite a bit of space here in this little glove compartment, which is lockable in the US as well, models. And under the seat you get a helmet hook. So that's it. It's been a riot. It's been a hoot to ride around. I've enjoyed it quite a lot, but it's time to let it go and to somebody that can actually use it a little more. We're lucky here in San Diego. We have a really famous, or really active in the community, Vespa and Scooter Service Center down in San Diego, right by the airport, Scooter West. So if you need anything, you can contact them for all your scooter needs. There's becoming quite a bit of a wait for service of scooters because they're kind of it's like a lost art. Not a lot of people know how to work on them, even though they're not that difficult. And especially for this model, there's a lot of spare parts because it has been produced so widely and for so long. I don't think these are the original mirrors. I think the original mirror one came and it was round, but you do get the high beams, low beams. You do get the neutral light as well. The mile per hour, the speedometer shows 80 miles being the top. Again, I wouldn't take it anywhere near that. You do start to feel unsure of yourself for anything above 40. But yeah, it's actually quite usable and quite beautiful. Quite a beautiful, nostalgic motor. Let me show you what that looks like when you remove this little lever here. Got two grommets that go into grooves, keep it in place, and this little lip up there that hugs it. There you see the beast of a motor, and kickstart connected to it. Again, direct drive straight to the rear wheel. No chain, nothing else to lube there. You get the pilot control screw up here. The air mixture screw here is a little deteriorated tube that takes air from under the seat. And there you go, pretty simple. Ducati made the ignition wiring here back, the ignition control system right there in the rear, and that was actually quite a bit of an improvement from the former ones. And you'll notice the VIN number 50533 surrounded by stars stamped on the body, as well as the VIN sticker. Now, the reason why it's called a Vespa is because the son of the original founder of Piaggio hired a aircraft engineer to create the first two-wheeled scooter, let's say. And when he first saw it, it reminded him of a wasp, basically. So Vespa in Italian means wasp. So that's why we still call it Vespa. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool little history that you can ride a bike that's 45 years old and really still have fun with it. And people kind of react to it. You know, it's a nostalgic reminder of a bygone era in a beautiful country that's really worth riding. I mean, if you go visit Italy for the first time and you have the opportunity, ride it. I had the chance to come in from the Alps and then go to Torino, go into that little corner, Bardonecchia. I did a video on the highest dirt road in Europe, or one of the highest at least, Col de Sestiero. Check that out. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it rivals our Yosemite. And then I rode straight down through Tuscany, all around the country, crossed into Palermo, took a night ferry to Sicily, and then another one to Corsica after hugging the opposite coasts of both islands, and then just take a third ferry up to mainland again, and then enter again through France, or you can go through Switzerland, hit the famous 36. It's Stelvio and that kind of thing. It's just a gorgeous country, beautiful for riding. It's just absolutely amazing. The north is quite different than the south, and I would highly recommend it. If you need any help with that, let me know. I can help you out with your route and whatever you might need, the green card for the insurance, etc. Just an amazing place to ride, and took a good month to do that and enjoyed every moment of it. It's just absolutely stunning, especially Sardinia and Corsica, which of course is French, and absolutely beautiful. So you get some of that with this, and Amalfi Coast again was just for me a very special place, because for that whole week down that coast I was just being chased by storms, and I could see it, so I couldn't even stop and eat because it would catch up to me. And yeah, it was pretty brutal, but I still remember it in a positive way. So I love that place. Of course, I have family that lives in Italy. We'll actually be there in a few weeks, so it's been an honor to own something like this, because yeah, it's history. It's very important motorcycling history. What we have now, the Ruckus, and some of the Honda scooters and whatnot. And I think Honda has actually made the adventure touring scooter that's won the Romaniacs or something crazy. Just see, I mean, it's amazing that people can do that, right? Weight is everything. So there it is. That was just a quick, dirty introduction to scooters and Vespas and this P200E. It's been really a lot more fun than I was expecting. So thank you for watching. I look forward to getting to know more Vespas in the future, and it's been really fun to shift this way. I actually like it, and I like it a lot. So if you see one and it's a reasonable price, you can get these for, let's say, 2-3 grand in a clean presentation and a running order. They're not hard to maintain, they're not hard to keep on the road, and they're really fun to have around. You do have to have your license, and everything over 50 cc's, you do have to have it in the United States. So I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.